Sorry, I love that sound.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was just
everybody.
coffee.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Extra Credits, the show we're talking about video games, and nothing but video games, and sometimes video game butts. Um, First off, I just wanted to kind of give some credit to It's Time to Wake Up, doing his best Sonic impression, tapping foot,
Yeah,
looks at watch. I'm
yeah,
sorry we're a few minutes late. Me and Cass were talking about serious, important matters, like the
yeah,
just the right amount of pixels that Lara Croft boobs have in Tomb Raider 1.
yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of co-hosts here, let me properly introduce him. We have the man who does not need a remake, the one, the only, the original, unless you look at his Twitter profile, Caster the Gravedigger.
Yeah, how you doing, everybody?
Uh, yeah, you had to remake your Twitter profile, but that kind of wasn't your choice.
No, that was a hack. Yeah, I got duped. Well,
I
that
remember
stupid
that.
thing. That was that stupid thing that was going around where it was like, oh, because what happened was it was like if somebody got hacked in your friends list, they would go through their friends list and then like say, oh, I got hacked. I need your help. I need you to do this, and then you get hacked, and then
Yeah.
because well afterwards I had people messaging me with my new account saying like, hey, I just got messaged by you saying this and that, and I'm like, nope, don't let him in. It's like a vampire. don't let him in the house. It's not
Yeah, don't
me.
let them in. Do not invite them in.
Yeah,
I think they tried to get me, but
yeah. Once I got hacked, I like try to message as many people or let as many people I know that like it's not me. Because I felt
no.
really bad if someone got duped because of me.
Yeah, to be fair, by the time they got to me, I'd kind of heard a few people who had gotten to it, so it wasn't as much my epic intellect that was able to suss it out. No, I knew what was going on, so I can't credit myself too much in this regard.
Well, that's the thing is like my gut feeling kept telling me like this has got to be something wrong with this. This is not normal. And then I was like, yeah, it's a scam. I was like,
Uh,
okay,
so let's talk about the one thing that isn't a scam: video games.
yeah, sometimes.
Sorry, I did that very, very deliberately. We got no headlines. Um, unless you want to talk about Adi Shankar, his epic little thing, but we talked about that on the stream last night, so it's up to you, Caster.
About him, he was upset that like somebody beat him to the punch.
Yeah, I actually think we could probably play the clip and not have to worry about it.
Okay.
Oh
Oh, there's a
yeah.
clip of him saying it. Oh, that was just like a quote.
Oh, you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the actual clip. No, I thought it was like a quote or something that somebody got from him. Oh wow, that changes everything.
Oh gosh. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, what you've been playing, Caster? While I look for it, why don't you tell people? Um. Oh God. It's right here. All right, I got to scrub through it.
No, go ahead.
No, what you've been playing?
Oh, let's see what I've been playing. I was playing The Witcher 2. I need to get back into that, but I have no idea what the hell I'm doing or where I'm going or who I'm talking to.
All right, you ready for some cringe?
Okay, here we go.
Absolutely right. Numbers wise, eclipses everything else.
Yep.
But I'm passionate about Devil May Cry. Like I love this thing.
Yeah.
And I love this niche
That's
thing.
the most important
And now
thing
I
that-
can
yeah.
take it and hopefully blow it up to a point where I can expand it and there'll be more of it.
Yep.
Right. So and I didn't know that there was a Devil May Cry 5 coming out.
Okay, I just need to say this. He's passionate about Devil May Cry, but didn't know about DMC5.
We didn't know DMC5, and it's like it's me. I've got to be the one to bring it up.
Oh, just watch, it gets worse.
You
Oh
didn't know?
God.
No.
Wow.
I got
okay.
actually unhappy when
Okay.
they
The
so
host
I
is
signed
just
the
not
deal and
having
I'm
it.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, great, I'm doing it. And then they're like, good news, we have Devil May Cry 5 coming out.
Were you hoping to play it before doing your adaptation? Is that what you're saying? Or you just
No, I actually thought the franchise was dead.
Oh, I got you.
This
Yeah.
was my thing. Like I like
You-
Dino Crisis. I
yeah,
liked
I see.
Keep that word out of your damn mouth.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
I thought it was dead. Yeah, okay.
So yeah. Now if you have like, also that host is just not having it. I love it. And he's like, no, I didn't say that. And then like they actually posted the video, like which by the way he posted that clip. Adi himself did. Oh,
Oh my god, what a moron.
what a tool bag! I gotta say.
Yeah, a bag of tools is what he is.
A bag of poorly made tools. Like he's when you go to the flea market and instead of finding craftsmen, you find the Chinese variant craftsman, and you buy those. He's a bag of craftsman tools.
He's the Harbor Freight of anime makers.
That's an insult to Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is poorly made, but at least it does the job.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to be underneath your car with those jacks.
Oh, looks
I
like
think
you brought a Harbor. Looks like you brought a Harbor Freight jack. That's why your sternum is crushed.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. But yeah, onto the video games. Yeah, it's just really stupid. As soon as this clown gets booted out, I'll be happy. But yeah, video game remakes. Oh gosh. A thing that's become more and more prominent as the years go on, as
there's too
companies
many
realize.
of them.
Oh, I partially agree with you. It's really nice to see a lot, but we're also, it's okay. It's time to wake up. We know we're just being silly. We were a few minutes late, so it was kind of justified. So it's all good. But we're kind of seeing companies like do a mad dash to just grab anything old and re-release it. Like, why the frick do we need a Busby collection?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Gex, I understand. Scott the Woz single-handedly brought Gex back to life. Okay, that's fine. And those are decent enough games. Busby.
I guess there's a small but passionate group of fans. I don't know.
There are a dozen of them. Literally a dozen.
Yeah, a whole handful of people. It's like
Not a baker's dozen, just a dozen.
Yeah.
There's 12 whole people.
Yeah, it's like it's like a whole dozen of people. I mean, when it comes to remakes, to me, it's like it really depends on several factors. Like one, how old is something? Because there are things that are very recent and they get remakes, and I'm
We
like,
don't need
what?
Last of Us 2 HD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like to me, that's more of a re-release. But I mean,
yeah, or even just Last of Us one remake. They did because it came out on PS3 and then they re-released it on PS4 with some upgrades. Like, I kind of get it because Last of Us came out right at the tail end of the PS3's life cycle, so doing a quick upscale for PS4, I kind of get it,
Yeah. Well, it's like, okay, for instance, with the upcoming Switch 2, and they got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom going on. For me, it's like those wouldn't really be remakes. They would just be, I don't know, like a upgraded re-release. I mean, because it's kind of like when Skyrim got the same treatment. It came out on the the PS3 and 360, and then it got the upgraded edition, I guess. And it's like the graphics were slightly better, But it wasn't. I wouldn't call it a remake, and I think that's what a lot of people do is like they'll jump one game from one console generation to the next and be like, oh, this is a remake, but it's just a slightly better graphical enhancements, you know, and that's about it. But for me, it's not enough to justify calling it a remake.
Yeah,
It's still more of a re-release at that point.
I was hoping to avoid this discussion because it's a discussion that really like the whole difference between like a remake, remaster, port, those kind of things. It's
Yeah,
something that has no real definition. It all depends on like what you feel. But
yeah,
I guess we'll kind of touch upon it here. All right, we got the Reaper King in chat. Just wanted to give him his props, give him his flowers. So I got this graphic right here that I think kind of shows it off real quick.
okay,
And this is not like canon, like holy text or whatever. So if you have a different definition, that's fine. This is just kind of to give you like a thing. Let
yeah,
let's just expand a version. I think that's fair. Like that definition seems pretty cut and dry. Like Pokemon Yellow is an expanded version. It's still the third versions
yeah,
re-released. Yeah, I can see that. And then we got enhanced port. This is where things are starting to get muddy because enhanced port often can be confused with remaster because an enhanced port is in very kind of like the very like loosest sense a remaster.
yeah. But like, it would be like, okay, for instance, for me, a remaster would be like the recent Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver remaster, where they completely redid all the textual,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, um, to where it's like, it like they went from PlayStation graphics to like something modern, and it looks the texture textures look a whole lot better and more detailed. That to me, that's more of a remaster. Uh, but an enhanced port to me is like when it's not very different. Like I said, okay, for like I said, for instance, for me, Skyrim on the 360 and Skyrim on the Xbox One, uh, that would be a enhanced port for me.
I do think once, like, I don't know, because like they did really do like if you do look at like some of the visual changes, like there's a lot of foliage changes. They really redid the textures a lot. That might be the Switch version. They did that, and then I don't know,
Yeah,
because like you got the legendary version, that was like the PS3 and then like the PS4 version, and they did Skyrim Anniversary. That was like the big remaster they did,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then they added on top of that, where they just brought in some of the community content. He's trying to get your attention here. Yeah, Black
yeah,
Grave, we're not really talking about Pokemon this go around, so yeah, if you want to talk about that, just DM him. It's all good.
yeah. Just need me on that, buddy.
See, and here's the problem: is I'm looking at the definitions between like remakes and remasters, like looking at Crash and Insane Trilogy. Like the way they define a remake, it just seems like a enhanced remaster. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like Resident Evil is a remake. It has a like vast kind of thing, but it also plays slightly differently. Like it feels different. Also, Metroid: Samus Returns, that should be actually more in the reboot territory because I don't know if you ever
Uh,
played that game for DS. That game is more of a reimagining reboot. So even among these, you got you got like little discrepancies. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's kind of the whole point I'm trying to make here is we can define all we want, but there's no set definition, and everyone feels differently. Like what you define as one thing, another person may define as That's what makes this whole discussion very difficult. But this is why I wanted to bring it up today. And got Orthodox Monk in the chat saying System Shock remake. Now that's the real remake. Yeah. I don't know, because like I feel like that game almost falls into a reboot territory. Like they changed so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it almost might even fall into reimagining territory. And that's the whole problem with this discussion, with this kind of thing, is we're all using different terms that we don't agree upon, you know.
Yeah. Now,
Also,
for instance,
Orthodox is flexing his membership muscles here. Just wanted to point that out.
all right. So, like for me, like okay, so like they came out with the Tomb Raider Anniversary Collection recently with on the Switch, and you can play with the original PlayStation graphics, or you can play with the new enhanced graphics.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that would actually be a remaster, because actually it's called a remastered, but to me, that would be a remaster because such a significant change in graphical detail when you go from PlayStation to like the Switch, graphics. Like to me, that's what would be a remaster, and then of course
remake would be if they change the layout of levels. Like the thing of the game is so similar that you can literally have a button to switch the graphics, and the gameplay is entirely the same either way. That to me is remaster.
Yeah, that's a remaster. Yeah, a remake is when you completely change. It's a completely different, changed overhaul. You've remake the game. One example is like back. I can't remember when it was, but there was a group of fans who were trying to make a Chrono Trigger remake, and they were doing it with like PlayStation 2-ish graphics. And,
you mean the Bloodborne one? The Bloodborne
yeah, I think that might have been one, but yeah, it was more of like a 3D remake, and famously it got hit with a cease and desist by by Square. But if Square actually had some good business sense, they'd have been like, "Hey guys, we're going to hire you on to do this game." That's what I would have done, and made money with a 3D remake. That would have been great. But it was like going from a 2D sprites to 3D polygons. That's a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Not a remaster, because it's a completely different game at that point. Graphically speaking.
But even going from like 3D to 3D, like in the previous one, the Resident Evil 2 remake on the GameCube, like they did switch some stuff around. Like it's very similar, but I do feel like Resident Evil remake, even though it plays very closely to it, like the graphics. Honestly, the graphics of that remake still hold up today.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not a 1-to-1 gameplay. They've changed enough to where it's a different game. Like for instance, the Resident Evil 3 remake. That game starts completely different than how the original game starts.
Like are you talking about the recent Resident Evil 2 remake?
No, the 3 remake. The 3 remake.
Oh yeah, like even the Resident. Oh yeah. Yeah,
because it starts off like in Jill's, it starts off in Jill Valentine's apartment, and then the Nemesis just breaks through the wall, and it's like you have to deal with that right in there and then and there. Where the Nemesis is introduced a little bit more slowly in the original, that's a completely different. Like I said, when you change enough of the story beats. To me, that's a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a remaster with a new can of paint on it.
Yeah. All right. So to answer some questions here, it's time to wake up. Kind of actually raises an interesting point here. Would fan hacks different levels be considered? I mean, I just call them fan hacks, fan mods, because like we're kind of talking about like official releases here, but like fan stuff can do stuff that like entirely feels like a remaster or reimagining of stuff. Like, for example, like Sky Oblivion, putting Oblivion in the Skyrim engine. If this was official, we'd call it a remake. You know.
Oh,
kind of thing.
definitely, yeah, yeah. But it's a fan mod at this point. That's what you'd have to officially label it as. It's just a very fancy mod. But if they did change it and if it did get an official release like that, then yeah, I would definitely call it
I
a,
have
a,
the
re,
perfect.
a, re- a remake. Yeah.
I have the perfect example. The game Black Mesa, which is definitely falls into reimagining reboot territory. That started out as a fan project, and then Valve made it legit, and it is a legit, officially licensed product. So it became from a fan remake to a full-on official remake, and I gotta say that game's actually really good.
Yeah. Black Reaper
Dead,
says, Dead Space 2 should be remastered, but EA won't. So Dino Crisis remake would be great.
See, Dino Crisis seems like it would be really easy because Dino Crisis was originally made with the original Resident Evil 2 engine. So they have this fancy RE engine. So you'd think it wouldn't be that hard. Just model some dinosaurs, have them run around. But I don't know.
Yeah, that would be badass if they made a Dino Crisis and made it right. Holy crap, that would be awesome. And you know, and all brand new, brand new generation. Yeah.
Speaking of like dinosaur horror games, has anyone heard anything about Jurassic Park Survival?
I have not.
So have you heard of it?
I have not.
Okay. This was announced a year ago. I'm gonna play the trailer. Oh my god, you have not heard of this game. All right, fans, don't spoil it. But
All right.
I own an island off the coast of Costa Rica.
yes, keep going.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there's a...
Hear me. This is Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind on Isla Nubla.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Talk about a tense scene in a movie. Oh my God.
That was a really good scene.
Oh my God. Yeah, this whole scene in the movie just, oh my God. Like I remember nobody was breathing in the theater. Everybody was just like holding their breath.
All right, we're doing Jurassic Park
Anyone there?
for like probably for June or July's Friday night feature. It's got to be done.
No, not the spitter.
Okay, I think you get what this game is.
So it's basically just. Is it like Dino Crisis? Is it like survival horror, or is it just?
It's kind of like an Alien Isolation type game.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like it's kind of like you gotta be quiet the entire game. Yeah,
like
that would be kind of cool. I can see that.
For an original Jurassic Park, as like you're the only one on the island, and you're trying to evade these dinosaurs. Doesn't that idea just sound gold?
That sounds awesome. What happened to it?
They unveiled it a year ago, and they haven't talked about it since.
Oh my God, that would be fun. That would be a real fun game.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Resident Evil remake is. Yeah.
I have no opinion on it.
FF8, 9, and 13 need a remake. Yeah, I think that it's like the whole trilogy needs like a re-release or something, like kind of repackaging, because I feel like we're a bit too harsh on that series. Even if it like the games are hella linear, they're probably still better than the garbage we get now.
I don't know, man. Just like after 10, everything just died with Final Fantasy to me.
I need to play 12. I hear good things about that game.
12 was okay. Honestly, I got bored with it. I need to go back and play it again. because it's been probably it's been well over like a decade since I played it. Uh, but yeah, I need to go back and play that. It was like one of the last PlayStation 2 games I ever bought. Um, yeah, it's been well over a decade, almost 20 years. Jesus. Um, but
Jurassic Park Trespasser. Okay. Have you heard of Jurassic Park Trespasser?
no, I have not.
Let's just say it had one of the most interesting ways of keeping track of your health. The people in the comments know what I'm talking about. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Oh wait a minute. I think I've seen this. I didn't think it was a Jurassic Park game.
Maybe if there's a phone line or a radio.
This is the one where you look down and see your massive gazongas.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
There we go. There's some dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting game, honestly.
But
oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Now, see, the thing is, for me, it's like, does Final Fantasy 8, 9, and 13 need a remake? No,
I mean,
but they
8 recently had a remaster. Because the code, like a lot of the stuff for 8 was lost. They had to like remake it from scratch for a recent re-release. So that's that.
Okay. So yeah, like a remaster with updated graphics, to like basically just throw a fresh can of paint on it, but it's the same game. I could get behind that.
That happened to Final Fantasy 8 recently. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
That's why FF8 was suddenly available on all platforms. Was because they did a remaster.
Yeah. And of course, I guess if we're going to talk about Final Fantasy remakes, we got to talk about 7.
Yeah, that's just that definitely qualifies as a reboot. I don't care if anyway is trying to call it a sequel. Please shut the F up. You have to watch YouTube videos to understand your own lore. Shut the F up, dude. I love you. You're a great like I would love to meet you and pick your brain, but please kindly shut the F up.
Yeah.
You heard about that, right? I think it was like anyway or like somebody else said when we want to get caught up on Kingdom Hearts lore, we watch YouTube videos.
Well, my God, like here's the thing. It's like this is okay. So say you played Kingdom Hearts, back in the day. You played Kingdom Hearts, right? And you're like, oh boy, I can't wait to play Kingdom Hearts 2. You pump in Kingdom Hearts 2. What? Well, there's a whole lot of story just missing here that you got to piece together. I'm sorry.
Even better.
You got to play Chain of Memories first.
No, but wait, there's more. So let's say you play Kingdom Hearts 1 as a kid. You're like, oh, I love Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 2 comes out. Oh, I love Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to play the sequel. Oh, I had so much fun with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. 10 years later, you've got a mortgage. You've got kids. You barely played video games. But you hear that Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally coming out. So you buy Kingdom Hearts 3. You haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game in 10 years. You've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And you're like, what the is going on here?
That's what I was getting to. Like, you play 1, and then you go to 2, and you're already confused about what's going on because there was a game in between. You got to play.
Then you go to 3, and the problem is just compounded by a magnitude of 1,000.
Because because not only do you have other games that you got to play, but you've got books to read. You've got all this other like just media to go over. It's insane. Like I asked the guy what to do, and he says, "Dude, I'd have to make you a fucking flowchart of what to do." He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm
You
going to tell
need
you
one
right
of
now.
those conspiracy boards. You need one of those like conspiracy boards with like the red string to understand everything.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, it was like pretty much like he goes, if you haven't kept up with it, don't bother playing it. Because he's like, you just have to be that dedicated to play 3. So I don't know.
And even the game is like half of it is they're just walking around explaining the plot.
Yeah. Oh my god. And let's see here.
All right, so it's time to wake up. Says heart tattoo on your 808008.
Yeah.
Very clever, sir. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
For
I
health
appreciate
tracking.
that.
And keeping track of your bullets by counting down in-game voice talking airtime filter. So basically go like 15, 14, 13, 12, like that, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on 4. Oh god. Can you imagine when like Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out?
Demon Souls shouldn't have been remastered the way it did, changing all the good art design to shit. Also, they made it easier. Like, Penetrator boss is a joke in that version.
So you're saying they lubed up the Penetrator boss?
Oh boy! And then Time to Wake Up says a concert to watch. Yeah, like you gotta watch it.
If you told me to understand the Kingdom Hearts lore, you have to watch a YouTube video of a fan recording of a 3-hour Kingdom Hearts concert from 2009, and that is an essential. I would believe you.
Or you know what else? You have to watch like the Disney on Ice version because there's a Kingdom Hearts on Ice that you got to watch.
In like a 4-hour Disney on Ice, and this performance only happened once, and you have a 240p fan cam, and there's like a 5-minute section of a Kingdom Hearts, and that's somehow referenced in the game.
And it's canon. So if you were there, if you didn't see it, you're screwed.
You have to watch the cell phone flip cam version because this was 2005 and people were recording on their Motorola Razors. The audio is shit. You can barely understand.
Yeah.
All right, let's give Jason Ingram some respect. I'm late, but I'm here. Blame the stub toe, and then he flexes his awesome things. See, the worst part is you could believe these are actually like things too. That's the worst part.
Yeah, and then you got to read like several light novels, and then there's
No, I got one. I got the best one. And then you realize that Square did a series of Kingdom Hearts ice cream cones that were all, like where the sticks had different pieces of lore on them.
Yeah,
it was like a series of like 12, but like the 12th one, they only made 500 of them, and they were only released on ice cream trucks in the LA area for about 5 weeks in the summer of 2004 after the first game.
Or I was gonna say they were
cost $500, but the 12th stick, because there's only 5 of them that would exist, somehow cost $10,000. But understand the lore. You have to read those sticks.
I was gonna say it was that what saltwater ice cream that they're always eating, and then like they sold it at Disney World, but like half of the lore is at Disneyland and half of the lore is at Disney World.
No, I got even better. So they got these like soda bottles, and they're like collectible Kingdom Hearts glass soda bottles. And you twist off the tab, and on the pop cap, on the pop bottle cap is a little bit of lore. They had some at Walt Disney World and some at Walt Disneyland, but they had a special run at Tokyo Disney for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then somebody got sick, and then they removed them all.
Yeah.
and it's canon.
Yeah, and the final bit of canon, you have to find Disney's frozen head, and it's got tattooed the last bit of Kingdom Hearts on it.
This is getting into National Treasure territory.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you want a remake? It's Nicolas Cage, and he's looking for Walt Disney's frozen head because they tattooed the last part of Kingdom Hearts lore on it. It's like, I'm gonna break into Walt Disney World.
Well, you got
Disney, make that movie.
you have two types of Nicolas Cage. You have batshit crazy, high on cocaine Nicolas Cage, and then you have I just woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get ready for work, Nicolas Cage, and that's the one it would be. It'd be like, yeah, back in 2004, I played.
And you know the word. You know like the best part about Nicolas Cage is
I played Disney.
Even the I just woke up. Nicolas Cage is still more compelling than most actors.
Yeah, so it was like, yeah, back in 2002, I played Kingdom Hearts and really wanted to find the lore out, man. So we got to find Disney's head.
All right.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
King Kong.
Wait. I gotta play this clip. I have to play this clip.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, that's his tone for like most movies he does. Yeah, we're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. Yeah.
No, this is Area 41 territory. I found the best Kingdom Hearts lore. When Inoue visited Area 51, he wrote on a piece. He gave an autograph to the director of Area 51, and he wrote a piece of key Kingdom Hearts lore, and it's on display in the director's office in the heart of Area 51.
Yeah, and without it, the whole series.
That's why we were storming Area 51, not to clap alien cheeks, but to get that last piece of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I'm going to cause hell to rise here, but I never liked Kingdom Hearts. That's fair. I mean, I played the first and second ones, and I mean it's fair because, like, again, it's so convoluted to try to get the story that it's dumb. But I like the gameplay. I mean, I thought it was awesome.
I've tried a couple of times to play the first game. I cannot get a handle on the camera system. Like the fact that it's like L1, it's still in that like L1, R1 flip that like switch the camera around you. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
If
King
you tell
Kong.
me there's a version of Kingdom Hearts where they just change it to twin stick, I might give it a try.
Yeah. King Kong, Xbox, PS2, GameCube 360 game had no ammo indicator, and you hold the reload button for Jack to say how much ammo he has left. Okay.
I need to play those games. I hear they're really good.
Never played Kingdom Hearts. I have seen the Angry Video Game Nerd episode on him raging about it, though. Oh yeah, yeah.
I will say though the best recent AVGN is when he's playing the Japanese Zoo Ranger, and he's like having like a mental breakdown while singing the Zoo Ranger theme, which is by the way the inspiration for MMPR is like some of the best AVGN I've seen in years. All right, next, Gone in 60 Seconds. Next, and Gone in 60 Seconds. I need to see Gone in 60 Seconds. I need to.
A good summary of Kingdom Hearts video by Barry Kramer is a funny video. Okay. And then Black River Cat says, fair enough. My friend had me fight Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts because I beat him in OG FF7. I couldn't do it. that was a really...
Okay, so for those who don't know, in the original Kingdom Hearts, Sephiroth is essentially like the final boss of that game. So imagine your friend just handing you the controller. You've never played Kingdom Hearts, and now you're supposed to play the final boss. You don't know any of the mechanics. You don't know literally jack about this game, and now you're told to face the final boss. Oh my god, Jason, I feel for you, brother. I feel for you. Caster should return here in a moment. He's probably having some technical difficulties. And Black Brikai says, there are others with very confused storylines. Yes, that's true. But Kingdom Hearts is the one that's easiest to make fun of. Snake Eyes is a great movie. I have never seen that one. I've only really seen Rise of Cobra. I really enjoyed that one. I haven't seen the other ones. Barry Kramer is Game Grumps' old editor, by the way. Oh, Okay.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
That's fine. I actually held down the fort better than I thought I would.
Yeah.
8 millimeter is a mess. Like, yeah, there's a lot of messed up Cage movies.
It's a good movie, but it's a messed up movie, yeah. But you know what? If you're gonna talk about remakes, there's no better discussion to get into and a rabbit hole, I guess, to get into is with Pokemon.
Oh,
Because they've remade and remade and remade and remade, and it's silly at this point.
not as much as you would think. Like they've yeah, I mean they've done remakes, but they've only really remade each generation once.
Technically, Gen 1 they did twice because they made the Game Boy Advance versions, and then the Hey You Pikachu and Hey You Eevee are basically the
Let's Go. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. They're pretty much the Gen 1 remake.
Yeah. So what's interesting is, so they started doing the remakes. A lot of that was to kind of bring it because between Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, there was like the severing a link because you can't trade between Gen 2 and 3. Like that's why they did Fire Red and Leaf Green, was to bring in the Gen 1 Pokemon. And then they did Soul Silver and Heart Gold, which are probably some of the best remakes.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would love if Nintendo did a imagine if they did a collection of Pokemon games. They'll never do it in today's day and age. But like if they did a collection of Gen 1 through 5, or even like Gen 1 through 6, like include the 7, include the 3DS era, okay, and just stop there, all right, because eventually they're gonna have to, because I actually think Pokebank is closed now, so you can't actually trade from Gen 7 to 8 anymore from 3DS to Switch. I think that link is closed.
Yeah. Without going through some kind of hacking, yeah.
And at that point, you just have hack create original Pokemon. So it's like, what's the one even?
Yeah.
Whatever. But like, just imagine a collection of like Gen 1 through 7. Game Boy through 3DS, including remakes. I would pay $100 for that, like easy. And then also including Pokebank support, kind of thing. Let's see here. It's Time to Wake Up is, I think you meant G.I. Joe. There was actually a Snake Eyes movie. It's Time to Wake Up. There was like a solo one. I remember hearing about that. I think that's what they're referring to. Question mark, and then they need to do a Pokemon Zero. Play the doctor from the OG Pokemon. Oh, Professor Oak game. That would be interesting. Like a prequel to Gen 1 starring Professor Oak. Did you know there's actually a cut fight from Gen 1 where you can face Professor Oak?
I know that.
Yeah, it's in the game, and you can kind of trigger it if you do like some tomfoolery. He's meant to be like the final boss of the game, actually.
Oh, okay. I can actually see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Snake Eyes isn't GI. Oh God, the comments are on fire right now. I love it. Wild at Heart is a Nick Cage movie. Has Laura Dern to bring it back around to Jurassic Park. Fair enough. Yeah, the store for Nintendo DS and 3DS is dead. I believe you can bring Gen 3 to 4. They did like a Poke Park thing where you put the GBA game in the DS and you caught them that way. And I believe Gen 4 to 5, which is like Pearl through Black and White, it's another like offline method. But I think DS to 3DS uses like a Poke transfer kind of thing, so that might be broken. Yeah. Time to eat a steak while you guys talk about Pokemon.
You bastard! No.
I am like very flattered. The fact that someone is eating the pinnacle of human food with the pinnacle of YouTube live streams is just a
Yeah.
combination. And Nick's ego just went that big.
Yeah. But yeah, like they've made a bunch of different remakes for Pokemon. What was the last one they did was it Shining Pearl?
Yeah, those ones weren't as well received.
Brilliant Diamond. Well, yeah, because like to me at that point it was just like, well, might as well just get them out and get them over with.
Well, the problem was it had a really crappy art style. It was essentially like a 1-to-1 remake just in 3D, and also like it was really broken. Like there was like a lot of really bad bugs in it, and also it just felt soulless. Like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire were really great remakes because they put a lot of heart and soul into it. Plus, the other thing about the remakes they do is they always bring it up to current standards. Like when they did Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, they added Mega Evolutions, made that like a big part of the plot of the game, and they added new Mega Evolutions. It was kind of cool. And they even did the Delta episode, which is like their version of Emerald, where you go catch a shiny Rayquaza, where he's like black and yellow. He can Mega Evolve without a stone. It's like really freaking cool. And then he go into space and catch Deoxys.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
They weren't made by Game Freak. Like, but I will say, they did a new Pokemon Snap. I think that was made by Namco. That was really good. I played that. I enjoyed it. They did a remake of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Really beautiful art style. Like, really beautiful. I think that game is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
One game that I think needs to be remade, Pokemon Conquest.
Yeah, that was cool because that one had like I think you can get a shiny Rayquaza on that one too.
So for those who don't know, Pokemon Conquest is a game for the DS. It's a real-time strategy Pokemon game mixed with Nobunaga. Like imagine Pokemon in like Sengoku Jidai era Japan, where like each person had a Pokemon. And the Pokemon are what battles. And so Fireball goes 3 squares forward. So you had type advantages. You had the typing, and then like Pokemon actually evolves. It's got a high enough level. Like they added just enough in. It was a really fun game. They also did pretty decent with the Silent Hill 2 remakes. I've heard mixed stuff about that. I've heard people like not liking the censorship and some other stuff.
Yeah. I think if they're gonna make a remake and they censor it, I think that's just terrible. That's just bad. It's just bad. Bad.
Yeah. Like and the other problem is, like I've encountered this many times on Twitter where I say, "Oh, I wish X game had a remake," and someone would eventually comment, "Are you sure you want it with today's game industry?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're right."
Yeah.
So like, if we're gonna talk about games we want to see remade, we're gonna pretend we have a perfect game industry, okay? Because I don't want to get into that discussion. This is not a doomer conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason. Oh God. Oh, I hate you. Bacon potatoes. He made perfection better.
Yeah.
I said recent, not decent. Okay, that is fair.
And they also did a Resident Evil 4 remake, didn't they?
Yeah, from what I heard, it was pretty decent. I need to play it. So one remake we've talked about this on stream is Parasite Eve. I think that game is desperate for a remake.
Yeah, a remake or a remaster or just something, just because that's kind of a dead franchise, and it really does need to come back because that was
it died after Nix's favorite game came out, the third birthday.
Yeah. So
yes. For those of you who are chronicling the Phoenix Press lore, Nix's favorite video game of all time is the third birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it, so I don't know how it is. I gotcha. But let's just kind of talk about like the what I put on the thumbnail, Chrono Trigger, because that's a game. On it, like it's weird. Like if you remake it into like a better like art, like a 2D HD art style for Chrono Trigger, would be chef kiss. But other than that, it's kind of fine the way it is.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like the perfect game, in a way. It's awesome.
Code Veronica, I think, would do well with a remake. Honestly,
I think they are making a remake of that, aren't they?
yeah, they should because it's kind of in the same style as the old game. So, like, if you do it times it, yeah. Let's see here. Another game that I don't think really needs a remake, maybe like a slight remaster, is Super Metroid. Like the graphics still look amazing, the gameplay is still as sharp as ever. The sound, literally everything is fine. Another game is just port it, maybe put it in widescreen. Is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
So Black River Kai says, what I was talking about is Diamond Pro remake wasn't made by Game Freak as it was different game Freak was working on in Legends. Okay.
And that kind of that would actually kind of tells us why I didn't do that great.
It really does, honestly. But like I've seen like some mock-ups, like some people put Pokemon Blue in like a 2D HD style, and it kind of looks kind of good. I've even like seen people who all right, let me just please who have made like remakes of Gold and Silver in like a Minecraft kind of format, and it looks kind of good, I'd say.
Okay.
Okay, so just to let you know, these are fan mock-ups of what a red and blue would look up in 2D HD. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I think this could work. I think this, oh yeah, I think that's kind of like the Minecraft one. Like that's like a VR game that is really interesting. Like this, I think I would buy that. I would pay money for that.
Oh yeah.
But I've also seen games where like they just take this art style. Like if you had a 3D game with like Kensu Mugimori's original watercolor, oh god, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a million times yes. But I've even seen games where they just take like the black and white pseudo 3D and just like shift the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are ways you could make a Pokemon remake and have it like be amazing. But it all boils down to graphics and tighten up the mechanics a little bit because Gen 1's mechanics are a bit broken.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jason Ingram says, I think a good remake of FF8 and FF9. An FF7 style remake of 8 and 9? I could see that. The thing with FF8 is it's so mechanically complex. I don't think if you try to plug it into modern game design, it would work.
It's time to wake up. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but they already did.
What?
Said also, do not make a Chrono Trigger sequel. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but about 20 years ago, they
wait, no. I have a joke I need to make.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's time to wake up is going to be rather cross.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do the joke. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. About 25 years ago, they made a sequel called Chrono Cross. It's not a direct sequel, but it is a sequel. So, controversial for some reason. I don't know. I like it, but, whatever.
Well, I think it's because of the expectations, really. If that game had just come out as just its own game, it would be like probably remembered in the same way. Because the people who play it love it. If it had just been its own game, it would have been like, oh yeah, this is another like really classic RPG from Square. Because Square was on fire at the time. They could have
Yeah.
released Chrono Cross as its own game. Like look
Yeah.
at Vagrant Story. Vagrant Story has nothing to do. It just happened to be set evilly. Like only fans know that, but it's still well beloved. I think Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross would still be well beloved. I think maybe even more so, because I think like the stick, because people come into it thinking, oh, I get to see what Chrono's doing, you know, kind of like it has like almost nothing to do with the story of Chrono Trigger. Like a few characters show up, none of the characters. You're not even playing as the kids of the characters. It's almost a sequel in name only. It's almost like they put the Chrono name in there to drive up sales, which it kind of feels like.
Well, it's like, well, the thing is, like, it does have like, and as you get closer to the end, it does more and more tie in with the first game. But like again, it is a whole new group of people, 20 years later, dealing with this. So
the
it's
fact
like,
that you have to play for like 30 hours just to start meeting some of the Chrono Trigger people. It borderlines on false advertising. I'm just gonna say that.
yeah, but anyways, it is a great game, I think, and and like I said, it's far enough away. Like I said, yeah, it is kind of like far enough away where like you can play it by itself and not play Chrono Trigger and still get it. But you'll appreciate it more if you played Chrono Trigger. Yeah.
I just feel like people came into it with certain expectations, and they were disappointed, and then that taste, and that bitter taste has never left the mouths of a lot of people. I feel like if the game would have just been its own thing, it might have even been more beloved today. Like I'd argue, because the people who actually play the game and like get into it really love that game. If people would have just like played the game on its own merits without thinking of Chrono Trigger, because Square was doing well anyway. I think the game probably would have sold well regardless.
Yeah,
I think it probably would be more popular today.
Objectively, as a game, it is great. I think people just need to like quit being butthurt and just go play it.
Here's what I would do if I was Square. I would release it, not call it Chrono Cross, but not change a dang thing. Let people discover it's a loose sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
And because like you get your initial sales because this is a Square game, and Square was like on fire at the time, and then when word starts to filter out, holy crap, this is a sequel to Chrono Trigger, and kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that's what I would have done.
Yeah, I do need to get the I do need
Radical
to get this
Dreamers?
the Radical Dreamers thing, but that kind of also brings up a good point here. I think if we're going to talk about remasters and re-releases and all that, I think there's no better system than the Switch. The Switch has been just a remake remaster machine.
Collections.
Yeah.
Like I'm currently rebuilding my collection. Thank you, but like honestly, like all the games I own, I think I got like 4 Switch cartridges currently. 3 of them are collections. I'm going to get my Switch games. Which, by the way, thank you, Caster. Caster, you got to thank him for getting me a Switch and kind of bringing me back into the fold, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I had to go to my shelf and grab my... All right, so... All right, got my Switch games here. I used to have a lot more, but I sold them all to buy a Steam Deck. Don't regret it. But that's what I got. So first off, the only non-collection. Thank you again, Cass of the Gravedigger.
All right.
Cowabunga collection. I saw it for $15 at Walmart, and I could not pass it up. $15 for this is a really good deal.
Oh, that's a steal, yeah.
This is a game that I bought day one because it's freaking Suikoden 1 and 2. And it's one of those things where it's like, I know that this, like, I wanted to buy a physical copy. And I'm really glad I did, given what they did with the Switch 2 version of this. So yeah, I paid $50 for this, and I do not regret it.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows when this will be released physical again? It may never get released physically again. And lastly, this one. I recently bought it for like $28 off of Amazon because to me, $60 for these games was a bit outrageous.
Yeah.
Because they're essentially a bunch of GBA grounds. But like 27, I'll do that. Like $30 is probably a better price for this collection.
Yeah.
And the Switch is just full of these collections. They're full of these kind of collections, and it's perfect. Even so much like even if you don't get a Switch 2, you can just collect all the collections and have a really good experience.
Yeah, like they got the repixeled repixel master whatever collection for Final Fantasy, where it's like 1 through 6. You got
that one's actually starting to go down in price. I might pick that up soon.
Yeah, it is ridiculous how much that would kind of cost. But you got that, and then you got we mentioned before, we got the Tomb Raider Anniversary Collection.
That one's getting pretty cheap. I'm probably going to pick up that one.
Oh yeah. Well, there's like the collector's edition, and then there's just the actual game. You know, if you want to go the cheaper route, I got the actual collector's edition.
The problem is a lot of these collector editions, like, they have a different, like, we want to talk about remakes. Dragon Quest, funny thing about Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, they did re-release them on the Switch a while back ago, but they're like the shitty mobile ports. Dragon Quest 3 got a remake in the 2D AC style, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
And they're doing that with Dragon Quest 1 and 2. I'm probably going to pick that up. Mine is the day one edition. I don't know if like all versions are day one editions, but mine's special.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Quest is really good.
But if you want to remakes and remasters and all that stuff, like there's a lot on the Switch to get. It's crazy how much stuff they re-release on the Switch.
Even ports, even just ports. Like they re-released a lot of the old Star Wars games. Like you can get like Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast, Episode 1 Racer, Knights of the Republic.
Knights of the Republic, yeah.
So much that like they had like the Star Wars pack and the Star Wars Heritage pack and they just keep adding games to it.
If you can get it, I would recommend it, but it is stupidly expensive just because of people. But if you can get like the Mario collection for the Switch, which has Mario 64, the one on Dreamcast, what was that? Mario Sunshine, and then Mario Galaxy has all three of those on one cartridge. If you can get that collection,
that's the only way to get Galaxy on the Switch. By the way, I believe.
Yeah, and that's a good one. But again, if you go on the internet, you go on eBay, whatever, try to get it. It is ridiculously priced. But if you can find it, I would recommend it. But yeah, that lands more in just I would say the port, because they didn't do anything to them. They just re-released them.
All right, so this is actually kind of a really good deal. So you got the Star Wars Heritage Pack for Switch, and you get all these games,
oh, wow.
And the following games include the cartridge: Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight, Episode 1 Racer, Republic Commando, Force Unleashed. And even the rest of them are download. Like, that is like $42 is a good deal.
And some of them are download.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that. Like, for instance, I have like the Mega Man X collection, and what's so stupid about it is half the collection is on the cartridge and half the collection is on digital code. Well, I got mine used.
Oh God!
Did not know that, and I was like, "Where's the rest of the games at?" And those in the back, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
See, that's a problem I have with a lot of them. Like for example, Spiral Remastered on the Switch, only the first game comes on the cart. I have it digitally, so that's why like some collectors I just buy digitally. BioShock was really, really freaking egregious.
Oh, really?
So-
What's wrong with that one?
They only have the intro sequences for all 3 games on the cart.
Oh my God, that's that
So it's-
that. It's I
So,
swear to God, it's,
so they went out of their way to be extra a-holes. Or like, okay, we'll just put BioShock in there. They have to put down the rest of them. That's stupid. But at least you get
swear to
BioShock
God.
out of it. But
I
no, they went out of their way to be a-holes.
I swear to God, it's like the Metal Gear Solid collection all over again. Jesus Christ! So so the Metal Gear Solid collection is you get a cartridge, which fooled me because I was like, oh, it's all on cartridge. That's awesome. No, the cartridge is the key.
See, and
So-
that's what, like, for me, I have to make a decision. If I'm gonna buy, like, basically the reason I buy something on Switch, if I can get it physically on the cart, I'll buy it on Switch. Otherwise, I'm more buy it on PC. Because I'm gonna buy it digitally, I might as well buy it for Steam, because then I get my laptop and then I can use it on my Steam Deck. You know,
Yeah.
like I can have the Switch experience anyway. You know, so
Yeah,
like
but-
Metal Gear Solid, I'll probably buy it on Steam. You know, like
Yeah. See, that's what killed me, because so the games were all on, everything, basically all the games were on the were on, or you have to download them from the store when you
Mhm.
pop in the cartridge. But the cartridge is the key, though. So I guess you could give your game to someone else and they can play it, or they can borrow it that way because they'll be able to download
basically
it.
what
But
and that's a big reason why I haven't got a Nintendo Switch 2 is it's gonna take a really compelling game. Like they have to like if they release Golden Sun 1 and 2 okay, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna regret this saying this, but if they release Golden Sun 1 and 2, where they like basically do a 3D remake of it, make it look like Bravely Default or something like that level of thing, and combine 1 and 2 and release that on Switch 2. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Switch 2 for that. I'm like, I'm like, Nintendo, I hate you. You're doing it, something like that. Like one of those like 1 in a million, kind of things. Then yeah, I might get Switch 2, but honestly, Switch 2, I'm probably gonna go all digital for it because there's no reason to buy carts for Switch 2.
yeah, it's so stupid. And you know what? And like I said before, the day I can't buy physical is the day I stop playing games. So I won't be getting a Switch 2 until the majority of the games are physical. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because I refuse to have I refuse not to have a physical option. Just because, again, if why? Here's another thing. Why are you paying $80, $100, whatever, for a digital game? There's no packaging, there's no marketing, there's no product. It's just a download.
For example, I paid $50 for this, okay? Day one. And you know what? Good deal. And it's like I'm supporting a series that I like. I want to send a message, hey, support this. Also, I got the entire game on the cart. I got extras for my journey. It's in a package. $50. Good deal. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, and also, I do not know if this is rumor or not. But okay, so we touched on this a while back. I maybe a couple weeks ago or so when we were talking about Switch 2. So if you're caught modding or hacking or whatever, Nintendo can brick your system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so apparently people were like, well, how can you legally brick my system when it's my property? And apparently Nintendo is saying it's not technically your property because when you buy it, you're technically licensing the system.
Oh my fucking god! I shouldn't be cursing right now, but what the actual fuck? I shouldn't be cursing. But what the hell?
But I don't know if that's actually what was going on, but I heard someone say that.
You can tell. Like, did you know that the head of Nintendo used to work for EA? It is so fucking obvious that the former EA guy is running Nintendo. Doug Bowser used to work for EA.
It all makes sense now. But if that's true, that is that's like saying like I bought my car lock, stock, and barrel. Like I paid cash money on the barrelhead, bought my car from a car dealer. Everything's been signed over. It's in my name. I got the license, the title, and everything. But then they're like, no. You have a license to drive your car.
I'm
You
sure,
didn't,
like,
but
if
you
you're in
didn't buy
Tesla
it.
world, I'm sure, like, and that's the problem is you're seeing this a lot in the car space, especially with EVs. They're trying to like commoditize, like appliantize EVs, like, oh, oh, here's a software update to make your car 5% faster, but don't you dare hack our software. Don't you dare do that. Thinking about
Yeah. Oh my God! Look what Tom Wake Up says.
But here, okay. It's really stupid. But I'm gonna give you a little bit of positivity here. Here's the thing: any console that the first console that gets bricked, hackers are going to unbrick it within a month. Because remember, Sony tried to do some of this shit. Hackers will find a way to unbrick that console. The Switch 2 is going to be the most open console in a month. If you do not because Nintendo already gets a lot of focus for hackers. But if you actually piss them off and you make it a point to give them a middle finger, the Switch 2 will be more open than the PSP in a month. They will find vulnerabilities. It'll be soft modded, all that stuff.
I think I'm getting a headache from this because it's just. I mean, that right there is the nail in the coffin for me about getting the Switch 2. Because if I buy a product, it's mine. Okay, I can understand they don't want you to hack or mod your stuff, but it's my property. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Meanwhile, Valve was like, we really don't want you to open the Steam Deck and replace the battery, but if you're going to, here's a video on how you do it so you can do it properly. Okay, we don't want you to install Windows on it, but we're going to at least give you the driver. So if you really want to do it, we don't want you to do it, but here so you can at least do it properly. I'm sorry. God bless go Lord Gaben.
And that kind of gets into the whole rabbit hole of right to repair, which I fully support right to repair. Because there's some places where they want to make it where you can't do that. And
yeah,
it's
Apple is really notorious for that.
Apple,
definitely. Say what you will about the EU. But they are single-handedly kicking Apple's butt right now. The only reason iPhones have USB-C is because of the EU right now.
Yeah. How am I supposed to know that I never played Chrono Trigger?
Black River Kai, you need to fix that. You need to play Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, you definitely need to.
Oh,
yeah.
Orthodox Media doesn't know one. Let's all go play cool classic games on GOG instead, guys. DRM free. Yeah, that's why. When they announced Breath of Fire 4 had got onto GOG in the preservation program, I paid the $10 for it because even if I never played that game, I wanted to send a message. $10 on GOG. I wanted that game to sell well, to send a message. I gladly gave them my $10 for that,
Yeah.
Have you heard of the GOG preservation program?
No, I haven't actually. What is it?
So basically it's games
is it real preservation or is it my preservation?
you do realize GOG is kind of the good guys in this scenario, right?
Okay, so they are okay.
Yeah. It's the same people that do The Witcher, by the way.
Okay.
Same umbrella company. All right, take a look at this. Time is erasing the games that shaped you. Forgotten, incompatible, unplayable. We can fight back. So these are the games in the program, and you can actually vote for games in the program, okay? And they have lots of different games. And for example, and they recently got Breath of Fire 4 onto GOG.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, they got Dino Crisis on here. Diablo. Yeah. So GOG is a good guy in this scenario.
Okay, they're not like they're not like limited scum games.
No, they primarily do digital, but all their games are DRM free.
Good.
So if you buy a game off of GOG, you can get the installer, and it's an independent installer. Like you can take that installer, go to your friend's house, and literally give that game to them, and they can install it.
Awesome.
So if you're going to start buying, if you're really serious about this, Caster, start looking into GOG.
Yeah. Let's make Nick play 40K Fire Warrior.
Well, you know how to do that.
I can't read because I'm a Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah, this is a problem. Everything is going digital, licensed to use, not allowed to self-repair, streaming services, big corp buying up all the real estate. Caster, have you ever heard of the Evercade?
The Evercade, yes, I have heard the Evercade, and I fully support it.
Yeah, I love how this just kind of became like a game preservation stream. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about remakes and remasters, it kind of goes in that category, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. So, the Evercade is essentially like a handheld console, but they do have like standalone ones, and they release cartridges that of like collections of games, and these are all like the games are on the cartridges. There's no updates.
Yeah, and there's different collections too. So I mean, there's quite a bit of collections for them, and there's quite a bit of games to play. You know, if
Legacy
you want,
Kane, the Reaver.
So if you guys want like a good retro console to play like a bunch of different games, Evercade's a great way to do it. It is emulation, but it's still a great way to do it.
Plus, you're collecting physical cards.
Plus, you're collecting physical cards, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds, really.
My only problem is there's not really any good RPGs in the system, which are kind of my jam.
Yeah, but there are a lot of really good games in there to play. So I mean,
lots of them. Yeah.
So you're about to find you got to find something because that's the thing is most of them are like not standalone games but actual collections. So you'll get like good bang for your buck, and also like there is a handheld version too. So if you want to have like you want to take these on the go, you can do that too. You don't have to.
And it doesn't matter if you're using the handheld or the standalone. Evercade, please sponsor us.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I definitely would.
Imagine if one day we do get sponsored by these guys. That would be nice.
I definitely would because I support them 100%.
Yeah, same here.
Because I don't have one, but I do support the work they're doing, and just the fact that like you can get like I said, and it's not just like shitty games. There are actually real good collections in here, and a lot of really rare some games that haven't been released since their initial release. I think there's like a US gold one. There's all kinds of different
I was just like thumbing through the collection on the stream.
There's all kinds of good different ones. So Evercade sponsors. We will shill the hell out of your system.
Please give us money. Send us Evercades, and we will do a 10-hour stream saying how good you are.
Yes. See, Switch 2 has a feature where you can let your friend borrow your game, but you can't play it while they're in possession of the digital key.
To be fair, if I mailed this to Caster to let him play it, I wouldn't be able to play it while it's gone. So I don't know. They're trying to like.
Yeah, that just sounds like I gave you my game. So,
Yeah, I'm not too salty about that, honestly. Let's see here. Communities are stupid. I mean, You want to know how Dragon Ball fans don't read? Because some of them are convinced that Goku could beat Superman. I just went there.
I just got the ire of all fans.
Oh, okay. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. That's a fire that I'll let burn over there.
Smolder. But
let it smolder.
But yeah, so like again, if you're looking for like re-releases or stuff like that, Evercade, great way to do that.
And if you're looking for a good stream, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we continue making awesome content.
Yeah. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Oh, okay. I was gonna make a really off color joke, but I'm just gonna type it in the private chat.
Yeah. It's like smash that like button and hit that notification bell for more notifications.
Cass, check a private chat. Check a private chat.
I don't do that no more. Oh wow. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that gets you demonetized right there.
Yeah. There's a reason why I stopped myself.
Yeah, you might have some certain bodyguards come to your house and beat you up. What were you saying about him? Let's see here, or Sun Wukong. Okay,
but Gohan can.
Okay, well, yeah, here we go down this rabbit hole.
What have I started?
But yeah, so like I said, yeah.
Can I do a Friday Night Frenzy stream of just Goku versus Superman and just have that be the stream?
Yeah, just start having the discussions and stuff. Break out the pie charts and stuff. It would be like a very, very, very in-depth death battle,
And in the end, Superman would win because I say so.
Yeah, because popular opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like any of those like bracket contests you see with indie comic creators. It's not about what character's strongest, who's more popular.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, like I said, good for video game preservation and stuff like that. But anyways, trying to think of some good remasters, remakes that we've had recently.
Going back, I wasn't able to talk about. Let's see here. Yeah, kind of scrolling back up a little bit and get the Orthodox Media's comment. He said collection of Mana for Switch where it's Final Fantasy Adventure. That was really good, and they also did collection of Saga, which is like the first 3 Final Fantasy Legend games. Those are really good collections to have. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Sun Wukong versus Superman. I'm actually going to say Sun Wukong might actually win because if you've read even like any little bit of Journey of the West, Sun Wukong is extremely overpowered, and I think Sun actually might be able to beat Goku. I mean, well, he can beat Goku, but beat Superman.
Yeah. But yeah, and what's kind of cool is like we've always had remakes and remasters before. Mm-hmm. For the longest time, like hell, even on the Super Mario All-Stars. Super Mario All-Stars, yeah, on the Super Nintendo, Super Mario All-Stars, yep, which would be considered a remake.
And here we're going. We're going into debates over names because I would consider it a remaster.
Oh, you know what? No, yeah, I think it was. I think about it. Yeah, it's a remaster because it's just a new coat of paint, but it's the same game.
And this is where I'm saying it's like the problem with this conversation is it is a very busted conversation because none of us are using the same terms. Like our definitions for what other things, like does this game count as a remake or a remaster? We kind of get caught up in like classification to talk about the actual stuff. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but we don't
kind of like
how they don't need
do death battles.
But we don't need 15 versions of Skyrim, and we don't need 15 versions of The Last of Us.
No, we need 16. We need 16 versions of Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear they released a version of Skyrim for the Alexa?
Oh my god, really?
It's basically like an audio choose your own adventure kind of thing, but like, yeah, Skyrim runs on the Alexa.
No, that's a neat. That's kind of actually a neat way to do that. I like that.
I wonder if there's any like playthroughs of it on YouTube. Let me take a look. All right. Skyrim Very Special Edition.
Yes.
All right.
You arrive at your first dungeon.
All
Will you
right.
help the Dark Elf house, Carl?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You arrive at your first dungeon. As the mighty Dovahkiin, you obviously already know that you can use your weapon, cast spell, or shout to battle your enemies. And, seeing as how you're Skyrim's chosen one, you certainly will never ever need to ask to flee when facing an enemy too powerful for you. Nope, a powerful warrior like you won't ever need to flee, or even take enough damage to ask, what is my health? So let's continue. You follow the quest marker to your destination. The entrance to the cave is littered with bottles of skooma. Looks like some Khajiit were selling wares here. Do you
Oh, just keeping up those stereotypes.
You know what though? Like that. That actually sounds kind of cool. That's like very Dungeon and Dragon esque.
Yeah.
You know? That's actually kind of cool. I
want
wouldn't
to
mind
cast a
playing that.
spell. I want to cast Magic Missile.
Yeah, like I would actually play that dude, just because that seems kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it's like, Ridge, you're the chosen one, so don't bother asking how what your health is. It's always perfect.
You're practically perfect in every way, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Like honestly, that system, like if you want to do like a single player D&D thing, that would actually be kind of interesting.
Yeah. You know, and kind of getting way off topic here. I would actually like if they did do like some kind of virtual tabletop game where you can actually play like, you know, online
There is tech
with
for it. There is tech for it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about like you actually play like virtual
is.
D&D.
There is. I cast Magical Toot. The room now smells like week-old burritos. Everyone is uncomfortable. Evil Toot. Oh, I am Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom toots as he pleases. Have you okay. I gotta show you this comic book panel. It is hilarious. It's kind of been like a meme. Oh, come on. There we go. FF6 Ghost Train. You suplex the Ghost Train.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's funny. Yeah.
All right. Do not use it. Toot! Fool. Dr. Doom does as he pleases. Oh gosh. I love how when they made that frame, they had no idea like 30, 40, 50 years later, some random on there would be like, ha, they said toot. Oh gosh. Funny thing you said ghost train, because like you know in RDR2 you can actually find a ghost train?
Really?
Yeah, RDR2 actually has a bunch of like little secrets like that. Like there's like an alien encounter. Ghost train.
So you know what the crazy thing is?
I keep going.
I was really good. So he's waiting for a ghost train.
There we go.
Oh wow,
Isn't that cool?
that's kind of like the Headless Horseman on Skyrim.
Yeah, pretty much. How to Find a Vampire. Oh gosh, yeah. But anyway, you're saying?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. The Outer Limits or the Twilight Zone had an episode with I can't remember exactly which one, but yeah, you're right.
Oh, and I remember. It
Okay.
was yeah. So what's crazy is like, okay, so San or not San Andreas, but Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Uh, the time between the release of Vice City and now is longer than the time of release of Vice City and the era it takes place in.
Oh God.
Because it takes place like it was released in like what 2002, 2003, and
Around that time frame, yeah.
yeah, and it was like supposed to be 16 years ago, which was like in the 80s, but like it's been longer than 16 years since the game's been released here, so
It's been over 20 years.
It's been over 20 years, so it's been longer. It's longer than the time frame that it's actually supposed to take place in. So yeah,
Wow.
and it's also considered a retro game now because it's
Well, that's another thing. Like, the term retro is people have different like meanings for it. For me, retro is 2 generations old. So PS3 is retro by my definition.
yeah.
Some people say 20. I don't know if I agree with that, but I can at least see the logic. The one that I don't agree with is, oh, it doesn't feel retro. Like you try to like, oh, PS2 isn't retro. PS3 isn't retro because it's closer to modern mechanics. You know, it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, shut the F up, you freaking hipsters.
Well, the thing is, like, I feel like the 360 doesn't feel like it should be retro, but but when you think about it, it actually is. It came out almost 25 or 27.
Yeah,
It came out almost 20.
That's just you denying you're an old man. So
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But when you think about it, it's almost been 20 years since its release. So
okay, the Xbox 360 came out 20 years ago this year, 2005. All right.
I'm old, Gandalf. I may not look it, but I feel it in my soul.
Okay, Caster, are you ready? Are you ready to, for the hit?
Yeah, do it.
The Xbox 360 was released November 22nd, 2025. Let me look up when November 22nd falls this year.
You mean 2005, not 2025?
No. It falls on a Saturday. So for Friday Night Frenzy that year, we're doing a 360 retrospective for sure. An antique is usually 50 years old, so 1977.
I would say it is.
47 years ago. So basically in 2027, it will be an antique. Just think about that a second. One of the first major game consoles is about to become an antique.
Yeah, I know.
How does that feel?
That makes you feel sad. Oh, time marches on.
Yeah. Also, we are approaching the 50th anniversary of Star Wars: A New Hope.
Uh, 50 years, wow. And barely any great content.
May 25th, 1977. So in 2 years, Star Wars will be 50 years old.
All right. I want you to type up Star Wars or no, type in Laser Blast movie Star Wars. Like maybe on YouTube. I want to see if it'll actually show it. Because there was this very obscure movie called Laser Blast that came out in the same year as Star Wars, and it had a little something to say about Star Wars.
I love that. No. Wait,
No.
it auto-corrected to laser black. What? Google.
No. Wow. Laser Blast. And then Star Wars.
You got that.
Oh, right there. The one on the bottom. Right there. Well, that's from Mystery Science Theater, but yeah, check it out.
Okay.
What the? Well, there's just a sign that says Star Wars.
Reminding one of the movie Star Wars.
Oh, I hadn't finished reading that.
Yeah, it's about a guy who has like an alien.
Because hippies are stoned.
Because he had like a alien laser gun on him or whatever, and it was just like there's a random sign with Star Wars and he blows up. I'm like, yeah, that's not saying anything.
It says everything.
Yeah.
Oh darn.
I was like, are you trying to say your movie's better?
What's funny is that scene is probably the only thing the movie's even remembered for nowadays.
Yeah. But oh boy. So yeah. Atari being an antique, that is crazy.
My grandmother had one, and whenever I went over her house, which was a lot, I played the 2600. This was like early to mid 90s era kind of thing. Where like even then, even then the Atari was considered old.
Oh yeah.
Like even in like 94, 95, Atari was considered old. So
oh yeah.
And it was less than 20. Okay. Let me put this into perspective. All right. Atari would have been 20 years old in 1997. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I was playing this probably like 94 to 96 was kind of like this era. And it was considered old, and it was less than 20 years old.
Yeah.
The Xbox 360 is turning 20 this year.
Yeah.
So that like, and again, like people's like, oh, but like by the time the 2600 come out, graphics is so advanced. Like, yes, but I do not put any stock into like the feels old. Like that is such a like ideal and hard facts.
Yeah.
You know, and like accurate definitions, because when you introduce like this feel stuff, God, I sound like such a like hard-nosed boomer right now. You know, I don't want to go down that path. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, remakes have been happening for a long time. Yeah, like you said, we mentioned Mario and whatnot. What are some other like notable remakes? Oh, a remaster, early remaster. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX.
Yeah.
That is a remaster, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They did a Tetris DX as well, which I would consider that to be a remaster. But yeah. So yeah, any chat, any other any other remakes. So we got about 20 minutes left in the show. So let's just kind of talk about whatever video game topics or whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
Just as long as Catherine doesn't tell me to look up the 1992 space movie.
Yeah. Don't. Dear God, what brought that up? Holy shit! Don't even mention that.
Whatever you do not look up 1992 space movie. Do not do it.
Do not do it. He may be doing it wink, wink, but I'm saying no, do not do it.
Yes.
But
I just wouldn't do it on stream because I'm smarter than that.
Oh yeah, but anyways, I mean, and there have always been like collection releases, for the longest time. Like I know, like on the PlayStation, there was like the Namco collection.
And they did a lot of those on the PS2, like Mega Man X collection, the Midway collection. There's a lot of them during the PS2 era. The probably a big one is the Sonic Gems collection on the GameCube, which probably is responsible for Sonic still being alive today, like being relevant today.
Yeah.
The GameCube era basically introduced a whole generation to Sonic.
Yeah.
Like that's how a lot of like if you talk to a lot of Zoomers who are Sonic fans, they'll tell you that was like their first encounter with Sonic was on the GameCube.
Yeah. Playing like maybe the re-release of Sonic Adventure and all that.
Yeah. Not the best way to play it, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, as I'm saying, yeah.
And,
but,
that kind of fits in the sixth. We got one. I put it in my search bar, but didn't click on it. What the f? Sorry.
I told you not to look at it.
And I told you to look at it.
Yeah, he told you not to look at it. Wink, wink.
But
there's a difference.
Yeah, like, we're talking about like remakes and all that stuff. Sonic Adventure on the GameCube, I think, also fits into this conversation. Oh gosh, like one of my favorite, like I love watching YouTube videos where like they break down the different ports for the games, or like different like how games are ported over the years. So this game is based off of this version, and this game is based off of this version, which is based off of this version. Like for example, all the Final Fantasy games for the Game Boy Advance are based off the Wonder Swan ports.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Bandai had a handheld game console in the late 90s, early 2000s called the Wonder Swan. And
the Wonder Swan.
There's actually a lot.
I was going to say, it's by Gunpei Yokoi also.
Yeah. The father of the Game Boy. And it's a really interesting console. And they actually did release some really interesting games. Like there's some Mega Man games on it. A crap ton of Digimon games.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. There's a ton of Digimon games on that system.
Who knew that a console made by Bandai would have a lot of games off of a franchise owned by Bandai?
Yeah, I know it. They also had a Final Fantasy. Like I wanted to get it just to collect it because it looks sweet, but they actually do have a Final Fantasy edition.
Well, yeah, like the reason
of the Wonder Swan.
The reason for that is during that time frame, Square and Nintendo were kind of like, we're not talking to each other. They were kind of still in that phase.
Yeah.
So, and they wanted to release some of their games on a handheld. So they actually really supported the Wonder Swan.
Yeah. Too bad it didn't really make its way over here.
Yeah. To be
I
fair,
feel like
the handheld market, was really crowded in the 90s, in late 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it would have got ate up by the Game Boy would just ate it up anyways.
Well, it wasn't just the Game Boy that was big around that time. You had the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Yep.
The Gamecom existed. Sega Game Gear was still holding on. It was really kind of a non-factor, but it existed.
The Engage.
That wasn't until like the 2000s. By the time
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but it's always funny.
But yeah, this is the Final Fantasy Wonder Swan I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really nice looking edition. Yeah.
Yeah, and then here's a console. Like it's just a really interesting console. So the reason there's a D-pad on the top is you can actually have it in tape mode and play it like portrait orientation.
Yeah, there were some games that played better horizontally than in landscape. Yeah.
Like that is actually a really beautiful console, and I like the cartridges. And plus, it ran on 1 AA.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, and there was a Wonder Swan color that came out.
And then there was a Swan Crystal that had the black light. Like this is a really nice looking console. Like I would have loved this console back in the day.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Wonder Swan ports, they look just like the Game Boy Advance ones. Well, it's still ported, but this is like a really interesting console. Oh, the Tiger handheld. I actually owned a Gamecom for a while, and it was as bad as everyone says it was.
The Tiger handhelds were not that great. I had one because I was like that kid that was like, "Oh, everybody's got one, so let me get one." But then you realize it sucks.
Do you want to see how bad the Gamecom is? This is Resident Evil 2. This is actually one of the better Gamecom games. Like this game is semi-playable. I'm just gonna say it. And this is what I'm saying is this is the height. This is like the top. This is like the tippy top of like Gamecom games. This is literally the best Gamecom game. It is marginally playable. I'm just setting the tone. All right. Also, just wanted to make note, the games were not this crystal clear. It was a blurry, ghosty mess.
God, that's so fucking...
Like, this was playable, and dare I say, kind of enjoyable. But this is like the height. This is like the best Gamecom game, you know?
Wow. I wish somebody would stop dribbling that basketball.
See, what I'm trying to emphasize is, this is the best. Now imagine everything under it, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Like, Sonic Jam on the Gamecom is a special hell.
My ears.
Oh, did you? Okay. Let's wash it out with like an actually. All right, let me wash it out. Did you know there's a Sonic game on the Neo Geo Pocket Color?
Yeah, I do.
Like the Pocket Color was actually kind of a good handheld.
Yep. Oh yeah, I used to have this.
Yeah, the Pocket was a good color. The problem was it was roughly Game Boy Color levels of power.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Wonder Swan and Swan Color was like kind of Game Boy Advance levels of power.
Yeah.
Like let me show you a Mega Man game. Right,
hello, in this series we're going to be looking at gems on the Wonder.
All right.
And the thing is, like to this day, Wonder Swans aren't that expensive, actually.
Well, the problem is a lot of the games are in Japanese, but the thing is, a lot of the games like you could play this. You could play this Mega Man game.
Well, as I'm saying, yeah, like you can play them.
Really, really claustrophobic and tight. In terms of the sound.
Yeah, like like there's a few exclusive like Rockman, like a Mega Man Battle Network got exclusive. Like Like this is Game Boy Advance level. So like my thing is, these graphics, like I say this, they look like on par, maybe even a little bit better than Game Boy Advance, you know?
Yeah.
Also, oh gosh, I want to play these games because like I love the Mega Man Battle games, and they did kind of like one of these types of games for the GameCube, where they just did like the classic Mega Man series, but with a battle network kind of twist to it. Oh my god. okay, I gotta look that up. I actually own that as a kid. I remember got it at a garage sale back in the early 2000s. Have you seen this?
The DOS game? Holy shit, I was scared. Mega Man on DOS.
All right. This is Mega Man on DOS.
I mean, you could do worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still bad, but like it doesn't look that bad.
Oh god.
The fact that there's no music is terrible.
Yeah. Oh god, I played this as a kid. I remember playing this as a kid. I do remember that. Yeah. That game is terrible. It is terrible. It is a mess. Oh gosh. All right, what are some other like really bad ports you want to mention?
Oh, bad port. God, what's a bad port? I'll tell you what's probably instead of a bad port, I'm going to tell you what's quite possibly the best port I have ever seen.
Okay.
And that is Resident Evil 2 on the N64.
Oh god. Okay, there's a meme
that is godlike. Like that is like Dragon Ball Z levels of wishing, like a magic that you need to make like that game. Like it is insane that we got that on our timeline.
Which version of Dragon's Lair, my friend? Which version of Dragon's Lair? All right. There was a meme I saw recently that I have to bring up.
Probably NES version, because that's terrible.
Dev said, we squeezed a 750 megabyte cartridge game onto N64 cartridge, thus sacrificing a single level or video cutscene by running more efficient, intelligent code. 300 games. And launches unfinished.
Exactly. For those who don't know, like the Resident Evil 2 port is absolutely amazing because they squeezed that massive game. It is a if data compression is something you're interested in, it is the like ultimate level of compressing data and putting it into like such a small package.
Like
it is crazy.
We talk about like miracle ports, and like yeah, the Switch 2 gets some miracle ports, but like there is putting Witcher 3 onto the Switch and having it actually be playable. There's putting Doom Eternal on the Switch and having it be playable. And then there is this. This is like one or two levels above that, you know?
Yeah.
God.
NES version of Dragon. I knew exactly when he said Dragon Lair. I knew exactly what version he's talking about. The NES version. Terrible. Because I mean, you know, how can you go from like Dragon's Lair in the arcade, which has like Don Bluth animated cutscenes, and then you go to like 8-bit, you know, it's a totally different game. Funny enough,
I will say the sprites look kind of good.
Yeah. Funny enough, this is the first episode of Angry Video Game Nerd that I watched, where he's doing Dragon's Lair. And I kept thinking, like, I watched it because I thought it was actual legitimate review of it. And I was like, Jesus Christ, why is this guy? He's kind of fucked down. What the hell? Like, oh my God. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Ooh.
Simpsons Arcade on the 64. That's what It's Time to Wake Up recommended.
Yeah.
I'm sure at the time, like this was pretty, like this was like probably passable, but oh God. No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was probably passable. You're even bragging about it. Like, oh look, I got on my Commodore 64. And people are like, you're what, 64? Yeah, I was not privy of like PC gaming for the longest time.
Oh yeah, I was playing PC games in the 90s, and like my dad had an old DOS computer in his workshop. We played those. Have you heard of Mario Teaches Typing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So fun fact, Mario Teaches Typing is actually the first time that he voices the character. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like PC gaming in the 90s was kind of a special brand of like wow. Especially like pre 3D. Like I have like some memories of like the pre 3D era of PC gaming.
Yeah. I remember back in the day you had to have like a cassette tape to play your games.
That was a little bit before my time. I was raised in the era of the floppy disk.
Yeah, but you had to take what you had to do is you had to take a cassette, put it into the machine, and then press like play. And what it would do is it would load the program onto the computer. And then once you had to wait for the entire thing to load, then you could play the game.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So he says I should play it on the Commodore 64. I have never like. Okay, we're gonna experience this the first time together. What the? What?
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
It's Superman.
If you say so.
Oh, there was a Ghostbusters game for the PC that I remember.
Oh god, I'm thinking about the NES one. That's so terrible.
No, this is the one I played. This is the one that I played in elementary. Yes. Yep. This is the Apple II version because I remember playing this like early elementary school. So this is probably
the Apple II.
90s.
Yep.
Oh my god, just imagine this game as a kid. It's like 92, 93. Seems pretty similar to the NES version.
It is.
Trying to trap the ghost. Oh gosh.
And it's like, hey, you're dead. All right, yeah, cool.
All right, well, you're a ghost now, so how about you ask it to come over, please?
All right.
What sucks is we really didn't get many Ghostbusters games over like the course of history. Like, there's the NES one. I think the Genesis one is pretty decent.
Yeah.
And obviously the PC games. Well, that's about it until like Ghostbusters on the PS3. You know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because Ghostbusters, people think like, oh, Ghostbusters 1 came out, and the Ghostbusters 2, and then the franchise died, whatever. But Ghostbusters was really popular in the 80s, partially because of the cartoon. I also think it kind of bled out into the early 90s a little bit. Because, like,
It
my
did.
generation, the thing is, my generation was raised on Ghostbusters tapes.
Yeah. And they tried to bring it back a little bit with Extreme Ghostbusters.
I do remember that, and I remember they had a crossover with the original ones.
Yeah. And Extreme was trying to be a little bit, tried to be a little darker, and I appreciate it for that.
There's one clip that, there's one clip that, there's one clip that, there's one clip that I don't know if you've seen this clip from the Extreme Ghostbusters. Okay.
Back off, Eduardo! Why? She's legal.
Can I just say, I miss that era of late 90s animation. It looks really good even today.
Yeah. Usurper Lord, Legend of the Red Dragon, and Drug Wars were great early text-based D&D style games on PC. BBS. BBS was a pre-internet for those who don't know.
I've heard of it. Yeah. Yeah, those text adventures are pretty good. Like Zork. I played a couple text adventures when I was a kid.
Yeah.
They can be kind of fun.
So yeah. So anyways, you think we should wrap it up?
All right. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna wrap up here. So tomorrow at 10 p.m. we are doing a Marvel Rival stream. It is to honor a request by Orthodox Monk. Doing that at 10 p.m. We're probably gonna be going for at least three, maybe 4 hours. Jared will be joining us for at least the first part. Cass will be coming in later because he's a working stiff and he earns his living, so he's all responsible.
Yeah.
Tuesday we're playing some Golden Sun. Friday is the Friday night feature. We're doing Casino Royale. Then Saturday we're reading really cringy AI fanfic. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you so much. It's Nick from Phoenix Press. Remember, I can show you the door. You're the one to walk through it.